This is a fascinating vehicle. This is a Hymer B-Class Dynamic Line B534DL Duomobil. And you're already impressed that I can remember all that, aren't you? I did cheat slightly. But I have to say, this is fascinating. The accommodation on this in particular is just brilliant. So we'll take a quick tour around the outside, but it's the interior that I most want to show you. So we'll head on around this way first of all. Now this is based on a Fiat Ducato. It's got the 150 horsepower diesel engine in it. It's very much your compact RV, isn't it? It's sort of that next step up really from the typical motorhome. It's a good looking vehicle. And you might have noticed this mechanism in here. That's key to the accommodation, so stick with me, I'll show you exactly what that's all about. We'll take a walk around the outside. You've got diesel filler here, you've got the 240 volt power here, cassette for the toilet is here. These hatches here are basically maintenance hatches. So for example, if we open this one here, there we go, you can see your battery installations and electronics and that kind of thing are all tucked away in there. And then we'll come back a little bit further. That one there is water filler. Gas bottles are in here. And that one is a little garage. There we go, spare wheels in there, but that's a great place for your picnic tables and all that kind of stuff. And interestingly enough, although it opens on both sides, it also opens on the back. I've not really seen that before. That's a neat trick, like so. There's an access ladder there to get up to the roof, reversing camera on this one as well. So all the things that you would expect. But come and take a look inside, because this is absolutely fascinating. This would be an absolutely brilliant vehicle for two people to tour Europe in. And this is why. I'm going to head backwards first of all. Look at this lovely, big, comfortable dinette area here at the back. So a great lounging space, a great dining space, but also a great socialising space. You know, you're on campsite somewhere, you've got a few friends about, you can all sit around a table, have a good old yarn. That is brilliant. And well lit too. Look at all this lighting that they've put in around here, in here, in here. You've got big windows, you've got the hatch up above. These of course have all got blinds that come across them, so at night you can close those off. Again, more lighting here. This opens as well, so you can get a bit more ventilation through there as well if you want to. TV is here as well. That's on a swivel, so you can tuck that back and away if you want to. Little reading lights along here, which is great. This one, I think I'm right in saying you can convert this to a bed as well if you want to. So if you want a bit of extra sleeping space, you can have it. The fridge is here too, this part of the kitchen. We'll come to that in just a moment. If we come around here, this is all storage up in places like this. We can come right on around. I love these little bar areas at the back with the wine glasses in. How cool is that? That's very, very classy. And then up here, storage lockers again. And this is what I mean about this lighting. It's everywhere. It's in here, it's down in here. It just makes this a really well lit area. That one there, it's just a bit more storage, but also power sockets, USBs, that kind of stuff. 12 volt socket in there as well. So if you want to charge up phones or laptops or anything else, you can do that there and then close that up if you want to. Come right on around, again, more storage. And the other thing to mention while we're up in this area is up in the ceiling, you can see we've got Habitat air conditioning. So that's rather a nice touch as well. Galley then is down here. So what you've got here is you've got the 4-burner hob. What's quite neat is that 3 of these are gas, but 1 is electric. So if you are hooked up to your 240 volt power, then you can use that for cooking without using up your gas. That's a nice touch. Again, opening windows, again, the blinds that come down across these, it's very helpful. And again, your sockets, so you've got your 240 volt sockets, but also a 12 volt, what we used to call a cigarette lighter style socket is there as well. Sink is underneath this one. Chopping board on the back of that, that's a nice feature. And then down below, it's the grill and the oven. So everything you need there. And then these are drawers. So cutlery is in there, for example. These are on little clips so they don't slide out when you're driving. Down there, and down under there. That's the fridge that I mentioned. So you've got fridge and freezer on this one, decent size too. like so. And the other thing that you've got in this area, just while we're pointing the camera this way, is that is your monitoring system. So you can click through here and you can see things like the state of the leisure battery, the water tank, the waste tank, and the vehicle battery. That's all accessible from there. That one there is heating, so that's your diesel fired heating. This is interesting. It's not something you tend to use in the UK, but if you're somewhere really cold like up in the Alps, what that does is it stops your gas from freezing. If you're using your gas, you can fire that up and it just basically warms the regulator. So that's a really nice idea. Not something you need very often, but if you do need it, it'll be very useful. Light switches are here. As soon as you come in, also the switch for powering the steps in and out is there as well. And again, more storage. There's a drawer down there. Another thing I found, these traps in the floors are normally for maintenance. So that one there, for example, gets you to the top of the water tank. But interestingly, this one's also got a safe in it. And that lives down underneath there. That's pretty neat. If we come on around then a little bit further, this is where it gets really interesting, because check this out. That's the front. And normally you expect to see the seats and the cab and the steering wheel and so on, not on this. You've got accommodation right through the whole length of the vehicle. And it's not that high either. I mean, you have got steps up to it, but it's not, you know, some of these are really up here. This one isn't. So you've still got masses of headroom. It's easy to get in and out. That is fantastic. I'm going to show you how that goes away in a minute, but I'll show you the rest of the accommodation first of all. Again, power sockets. So in here you've got USBs, and then you've got your 12 volt, and then you've got your 3-pin. So lots of power for charging or whatever else you want to use that for. There's a separate shower on this one. That's over here. So that's very nice. These, of course, just close across like so. And again, you've got ventilation at the top there. And again, of course, blinds that come across. So if you want a bit of privacy at night or just to keep the bugs out, then you can do. Another big hatch up here. And then the toilet itself is here. And what's quite clever about this is that this door will fit very neatly into here. So that if you want a bit of privacy, you can have this area then completely closed off from that area. So if you're coming in to have a shower, use the loo, that sort of thing, you can just close that off if you want to. Toilet is here, and the sink. Obviously there's no shower in there because we just saw it's a separate one. And then again, you've got a little bit of storage tucked away in places like this. And again, you've got the ventilation from the hatch above. That's excellent, isn't it? Right, I'm going to see if I can show you, if I can remember, because I was only shown this once. So it'll be interesting to test to see how simple this is. So these steps basically fold up like this, and then they lift off completely. And we'll pop those up there for the moment. I think that's where they go. And then what you do is take these chaps here out. So just for the moment, obviously they could go in the garage or wherever you want, but for the minute we'll pop them up there out of the way. And then all you need to do is slide these chaps away. Open that. And that just lifts. Look at that. I was shown that once. And that is all it takes. That is absolutely brilliant. More storage down here. So you've got the drawers here. You've got a pretty big cupboard there, actually. That's pretty neat. And then up here is the cab, I guess you call it. So these seats here, if we release these little catches here, they will lift into place. It's easier with two hands, not holding a GoPro, but nonetheless, we've managed it. And there you go. We've turned that now, ready for the road, in what took about, I don't know, a minute. And that was having never done it before and holding a GoPro. So that, I think, is pretty impressive. There's a door on this side, and then you've got the normal dashboard here. So you've got the entertainment system. It's a manual gearbox on this one, and then the usual bits and pieces, controls for the phone and the volume and so on the steering wheel there. And then there are blinds you can see clipped away back there that slide across here. That, I think you'll agree, is pretty brilliant. I'm rather taken with that. I like the finishes in here as well. Things like this looks really nice. A little bit of storage. And then sliding window here. So there we go. Let's come right on around and take another look back. That's brilliant. Okay, I'm going to sit on this nice comfy dinette back here. I'm going to say huge thanks to Hymer. They organised this tour. They've got this one for sale. I'll put a link to those guys in the description, and huge thanks as ever to you all for watching. Let me know what you think of that one, and I look forward to catching you on another one of these real soon. Take care. Bye bye.